What's going on? Welcome back to Financial Journey. So today I'm going to talk to you about Ethereum Classic. I want to give you a quick overview of some of the data points, what is really influencing it, and if you need to buy the dip or not. Before we get into any of that, make sure you hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So currently ETC is down 14.64%, $28 to low. And it's not just ETC, everything is selling off. And what's interesting is there hasn't been any concrete news to justify this. Rather, it is just whales selling. And you can kind of see this very similar scenario across many of the other coins and whatever. But yeah, you can see starting off on the 8th, there was a grand total of 10.08 million in liquidations from longs. So big money just wanted to get the hell out. And of course, leading into this rally, which has been absolutely phenomenal, but beside the point, a lot of retail and other individuals were highly leveraged. And so just based on what has happened in the last little bit, $1.7 billion has been wiped off the table. So this is kind of more of a learning lesson for those of you that are using leverage. Of course, it's all fine and dandy when things are going up, but one substantial pullback, you can get really royally screwed. There was a good catalyst potentially going to come to fruition, and that was this right here. So Microsoft was having a vote to have some of their reserve Bitcoin, and even based on this title, if that was to come to fruition, then most likely Bitcoin would be roughly around 150,000. It would just easily go up like crazy. And obviously, as a byproduct, a lot of other cryptos would just follow suit, right? But regrettably, the vote was no. So in general, I think that's kind of now the next big thing is just what is the next catalyst to really drive crypto higher? Because surprisingly enough, there has been a lower amount of volume aside from today because whales are selling. So there's around 25.61 million in volume over the last 24 hours. So definitely a good amount, but that's largely being attributed to just big money selling. But based on this, so money market funds, I like to look at what happened. So on a week by week basis, there was 95.86 billion dollars leaving crypto and equity to go back into money market. So shows that they don't really see substantial upside. And right now there is a all-time high of $6.77 trillion. So I think it's just now the market needs to give a good catalyst to really justify this 6.77 trillion or a good chunk of that to rotate out back into equities as well as crypto into those markets. So that's largely what is affecting just ETC and a lot of other coins. And this has dropped quite a lot. So the fear and greed index is under the greed category, so 76. So in theory, people's appetite for risk is on the table. And this is why you are seeing a little bit of a recovery with ETC. But generally speaking, I think just it's not the best scenario. So I'm going to go over the technicals and whatever else, but in general, it seems to have gone relatively quiet from the shorts. So shorts have been starting to double down, and again, as long as longs keep laying the selling pressure down, it's ETC is just going to continue to be suppressed. Right now, though, with that $29 and change, it is trading between this R1 and the pivot. So $28 is going to be that next strong support, and conveniently, it did bounce off of that general area. So this is one thing I really like about the technicals is it if you exclude all the, I guess, manipulation and whatever catalysts, things just follow the technicals. And so again, just watch for 28, because if it does break below that, then in theory, this is where you could see a more of a significant pullback. But as of right now, $34.38 is going to be that next strong kind of resistance slash target. And as of the chart right over here, so I have the ALMA 5100 day moving average as well as super trend. So this super trend right now has been kind of that pivot point for ETC. Over the last 2 days, it has bounced off of that general area. So going into the next little bit, that is going to be a key, absolute key point to watch for. So like I mentioned, if it does break below that, you have that 50-day moving average at 25.57, and then just right here this 100-day moving average at 22, which if it does get to these levels, I feel like the sentiment would easily turn very, very bearish. So hopefully there is a good amount of buying causing it to get higher, but as of right now, just on the 1-day chart, it doesn't look all that great. On the 4-hour, again, for those of you that are new to the channel, I like to look at the 4-hour and 1 hour. Everything feeds into each other. So right now the 4-hour, this is where you're seeing a lot of the bearishness. Again, coming from this standpoint, it is relatively oversold, so that could be a good potential just rebound based on that. But until, I think it just needs a new catalyst, and most likely that's going to come either in January or potentially a 25 basis point cut for the upcoming December 18th Fed meeting. So a 25 basis point cut would help consumers significantly, and thus they'll be able to put that extra savings either in loans or in crypto or investments. So in theory, that should be able to stimulate the crypto market a little bit. But aside from that, looking at the 1 hour, this is where you're starting to see it trying to recover itself, but without the significant volume and just whales just still keeping it low. This is where you're going to have that suppression. But right now it does show some signs that it wants to kind of move higher. But let me know your thoughts on ETC in the comments below. I know ETC isn't a lot of people's favorite. I've been kind of covering it for a very long time. And yeah, I just wanted to kind of pop on, explain what is really influencing it, what the technicals are saying. But in my opinion, I think that the $28 range is going to be touched once again. And most likely, given the circumstances, it will probably break that. And so most likely in the next little bit, it might trade between that $25 and $28 range, at least in the short term. Aside from like short-term stuff, I still do believe in ETC bigger picture. Just you need a catalyst. I'm not here to hype you up. I'm not here to say that this is going to go to $5,000 tomorrow. It needs to be justified. So I think just with whales getting out, you need that capital to really push and propel a lot of cryptos higher. So let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. One final thing, I did create a Patreon where I'm giving buy signals on stocks, options, and crypto. Many of them have been absolute bangers. Even ETC, when it was at $22, I said it was going to hit $2.35, and lo and behold, that's where it hit. I did give recent updates based on that, and regrettably, it didn't really hold that kind of level that I was looking for, that 38. So I think in general, this kind of pullback was somewhat anticipated, but let me know your thoughts. Definitely pop over to my Patreon and let me know what you guys get from that. With all that, appreciate all of you watching though.